Morning.
Good, Brandon. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good.
Hey
Good to see
Z,
you
how you
again.
doing? You're on mute.
Oh, I am. Oh,
No, you're
Z's
not.
on
Oh,
mute.
Z is on
Okay.
mute.
All right. You guys got me?
Yeah, yeah.
Got you. Can we see your pretty face?
Oh, you see it? Okay. I don't see myself, I guess. That's what it is.
Ghost man.
Oh, there I
There we
am.
go.
There
So,
I am.
Lance, this is Z. Z, this is Lance. Um,
Lance, what's up, buddy?
Nice to meet you.
Last
Lance is
name.
CEO of Area Scouts, and Z and I, we met at the World Lacrosse Championships in San Diego in, what was it, July, I think it was?
Yes, July.
Yeah.
June,
And
July, something like that.
yeah, so I was, I want to be hosting a World Lacrosse Championship in Panama. And then he got me in, and then that's what I found out that him and his partner Darren's from the NFL. And this Black Water that they do is sponsored by the NFL Retirement League or Union
Alumni. Mhm.
alumni. And then, as he was telling me about his history, he's big into high school wrestling all over the state of California, nationally, and so on. So we had a lot in common. And then we just developed a friendship. And I started telling him, I'm involved in Area Scouts. I think it would benefit you and the kids in your program.
And what's crazy is we're not sponsored by the NFL alumni. They endorsed it. And so obviously our goal with the NFL alumni is to, go nationally.
Yeah, and I
Appreciate.
have to. I want to tell you up front. I have no background whatsoever in wrestling, so please don't hold that against me.
No,
I have no
no.
experience in it
No
whatsoever.
worries.
So
No worries.
yeah.
Yeah, whatever I could do to help, utilize me and I run a youth program. I've been running over since my son is born in 1998. Shortly after, 4 or 5 years later, I eventually started to take over the program on the youth side. Um, had about 8 to 10 kids that were all state champions at an early age. 30% of those kids got recruited and went Division 1. We've had multiple state champs here in California from just my youth team. Some wrestled at Oregon State, Arizona State, just different Division 1. I decided to move over to the California USA Wrestling side of this, and then eventually became a two-time national coach for California US, the national team. And we've had multiple national champions. And the benefit is you get to know these kids, and they're all in college, so the connections happen, especially if you're someone of character and they trust what you're doing, and you reach out to these kids that are in college now and you ask. So
How many coaches and kids do you feel like you have contact with?
I would probably have close to 100 coaches, um, maybe even more, to be honest with you, at a personal level. And I probably have close to 2 to 3 thousand um, wrestlers that come to my event on a weekly basis. I have a partner of mine. His name is Adrian Hernandez, who runs the some of the largest wrestling tournaments on the West Coast when it comes to youth, kindergarten through eighth. He slowly has come over to the high school side. Now he's running high school tournaments, 3 to 4 tournaments on a weekend through his business. And so obviously you can just imagine the contacts he has. He's into the college scene running tournaments for colleges, junior colleges right now, and a few Division 1. Cal State Bakersfield, he's ran some, and a lot of junior colleges. Uh, I'm thinking I have some athletes that I know we can definitely help with, especially if we can get them young. I have right now. I have one athlete right now. She's in high school. She's a senior, and I want to connect you with her. And she's I think 17 years old, and she's already like a national champ in all three different sports in the country.
What is her name?
Creason. Her name is Jenna. Jenn. Creason. Creason. She's a wrestler. She's a boxer. She's an MMA.
And you know her
She,
personally?
oh, I know her personally. She, if we get her on aerial scouts, you're now exposed with USA Boxing, USA Wrestling, and obviously the MMA world. And I've talked to her about this before, but I think her dad is pretty much her agent, and her dad loves the heck out of me because I've helped them and I can bring this to the table to them. I think she went 44 as a junior in high school. She went 44-0 in high school wrestling. She went undefeated and won a state title. Yeah, she's been to my house with her dad, and I've done some crazy training with her. That's the kind of training that I do. I was in the Marine Corps and I wrestled in the Marine Corps, so I got some crazy workouts that I do that a lot of people don't do. But and I'm friends with the president in our area. I believe it has about 1,000 kids in the football world.
And he's the president of what?
He's the president of, it's called TYAA. I'm friends. I used to be on the board of that. I used to help run that organization. I left maybe eight years ago, but I know that organization very well. And I mean, what they bring to the city of where I live, it's unbelievable what they do with football. Involving that group right there, and you working with, his name is Rob Valero. He would be the one that probably would be the best fit. I can make those connections, and I think that is vital because he's done it in the past. But if we get something that I want to make that introduction, man, it's sky's the limit because he has access to or 200 to up to 200,000. So he's connected with every high school in California when it comes to USA Wrestling. He would pass that on to every organization in California, and area scouts could be huge because everybody would want to figure out how to get involved with it, and then at a bigger scale. That's something that we could tap into. We bring you on board, and then now that everybody, you get on a Zoom with all these association presidents, and we talk about what you're trying to do. But the first step is getting you in connection with Rob Valerio, and he's the one that would probably push it statewide. And then now everybody's doing this in their hub where they're located, and this thing could really spread on the wrestling side at a bigger scale. But making that connection to start off with Rob Valero, I think would be the better thing for area scouts on the wrestling side. I can start here what I have. I bring Rob Valerio in and say, look, this is what we're doing. This is how we can do it. How do we add this to the platform of California USA Wrestling?
So would you say he's the biggest out there as far as California and the connections with the high schools? Yeah.
Well, absolutely. It's free when it comes to Olympic style of wrestling. He's the vice president of that. The president is on the CIF, California Interclassic Federation for California, and all sports is Dwayne Morgan, is the rules interpreter for wrestling in California.
And so, Lance, CIF
yes, CIF
governs like all sports, high school sports, awarding, they structure the high school championships, the playoffs. They send out all the requirements for each team in each sport, what they have to follow and abide by, and so on. So CIF is huge
when it comes to wrestling. So those are the two guys that we definitely want to get involved in something like this.
And do you know Dwayne too, or is that Rob?
Yes. No, I know both of them. I know both of them personally. I got to take off myself here.
It was awesome meeting you, and can I'm going to send you information to your email. But okay. Do those dates kind of sound good to you for us to plan on, like the 15th or 16th? It's a Thursday or Friday of February, and that
I really want to get involved with. And I
100%. I 100% want you involved. I'm going to continue communicating with Rylan, but let's plan on getting this rolling.
No, for sure. I mean, there's other things that we can bring to the table that I don't know if Ryland has mentioned to you, other things that other platforms that we're working on the business side that how it could benefit. I mean, everybody would definitely make some really, really good money, you know, and be able to grow the sport, grow this area scouts with that funding, you know.
I
So-
love it. Thank you so much,
Alrighty.
guys, for your time. Thank you,
All
Ryland.
right.
And I'll
You got
I'll
it.
talk to you.
Sounds good.
Nice meeting you,
Great-
Lance. Have a
You
good
too,
one.
weekend,
Steve.
guys.
Thank you, you too. Good luck.